Beer brewing has exploded in growth over the past few years, and new breweries are joining the ranks every day. There are more than 3,000 breweries in the US producing tens of thousands of unique styles. Now, naturally, this has made it more difficult to stand out among the crowd. Now, whether you're new to brewing and want to add a little more personality to your home brew, or you've been brewing craft beer for years and are looking for ways to build your business, wherever you are in your brewing journey, now is the perfect time to consider the importance of branding for your brews. Today, we'll talk about ways to make your brewery more competitive with great packaging and label design. The first step of any design process is to know your brand. With store shelves packed to the gills with beer options, having a clear brand identity is vital. The designs shown here are from Bionic Brew, one of the premier craft brewers in China. They're a great example of consistent branding with a unique story. They drew their design inspiration from Chinese folklore. There, ancient poets tell a story of the gold rabbit. Tethered to the moon, the mythical figure spends its days brewing the elixir of life. That care and craft, electrified by the spirit of the Bionic Brew team, sparked a powerful symbol for the brand. Now, when you're searching for your story, follow Bionic Brew's example and make sure it's authentic and genuine for your brewery. Once you know your brand, you can start to think about the next vital step, where you will show your design message, on a bottle or a can. And here's the thing, even within these two choices, there are a lot of design variables at play. Bottles offer a lot of design flexibility. All bottles have a label and a cap and may also have a neckband. Each of these elements presents a unique design opportunity. And your design considerations don't stop with the words and graphics printed on the label. You've got a lot of label materials to choose from, including paper, matte film, glossy film, metallized film, wood finish film, or clear film. Each of these communicates a different message to your consumer. So make sure you select a label material that reflects your brand identity. Does matte paper best represent your heritage brand? Could a metallic label best communicate an industrial vibe? Or do you prefer a wood finish that speaks to your dedication to sustainability and nature? While bottles offer more flexibility, cans offer more design real estate. You're not limited to a tiny cap, small neckband, and a label. You've got the entire can to share your message. Besides the design limitations, many brewers choose cans because of their improved shelf life and reduced cost. So now that you know your brand, you've decided whether you're bottling or canning, you've chosen your label material, and you're finally ready to create a design, here are a few pointers to get you started. First, keep in mind that your logo reflects your brand. But what makes for a strong logo? You should aim for your logo to be simple, memorable, timeless, versatile, and appropriate. Choose colors that align with your brand identity and evoke the right emotions for your customers. Finally, make sure that your logo doesn't look like anyone else's. The last thing you want is to have your beer confused with a lesser lookalike. This logo, designed by Crowdspring Creative Snoppy for River Hops Brewing in Fort Dodge, Iowa, is both timeless and appropriate. It showcases the brewery's namesake river and hops in a clean and classy design. Because your logo should be the one consistent graphic element across all of your marketing, it's worth investing in quality design. Crowdsourced logo design can be a fantastic solution for growing breweries because the process is fast and cost-effective. Logo projects on Crowdspring start at several $100s and average over 100 entries. This means you have more options to choose from when trying to find the perfect logo for your brewery. With your logo squared away, you can start to think about labels. Now, your branding, including logo, should remain consistent across all of your labels to establish familiarity and trust. But each label should be unique to each brew in your lineup. Tell your future customer what's special about this specific beer. After all, creating your own unique brews is the reason you founded your brewery to begin with, isn't it? Tenaya Creek Brewery in Las Vegas, Nevada, pulled imagery from their Native American heritage to differentiate between each brew. The presence of their Navy logo creates a band around the top of each can to tie the designs together, while each individual beer has its own unique label design in a distinctive color palette. Are you designing for a seasonal brew? Feature images that conjure that season for your consumer. Is it weedy, hoppy, or fruity? Take your inspiration from those. Show your drinkers what they can expect to find inside the bottle. New Belgium in Fort Collins, Colorado takes their customers through all of the seasons with label designs that are able to communicate the flavor of the beer and the seasonality of the offering at the same time. What about the beers you offer all year round? This is where your brand identity comes in handy. Use design to showcase your brewery's unique personality to win your customers' attention. Beer Bizarra in Montevideo, Uruguay has channeled their inner slideshow performance with a line of unique labels. Their clean, simple text logo provides an appropriate backdrop for their featured characters and ties the line together very nicely. There's no shortage of personality there. They're bound to attract a playful, adventurous consumer with these labels. Whether we like it or to acknowledge it or not, every brewery is participating in a popularity contest. You're judged by your beer, but only if you get the consumer to buy it first. That means your label is your first impression. Are you quirky and fun, or do you take your beer very seriously? Are you innovative and new, or steeped in tradition? Show your consumer on your label, and you'll attract like-minded drinkers. Now, I realize that the thought of tackling your brewery's label designs by yourself can be overwhelming. With so many competing breweries, let alone individual beers competing for consumers' attention, you need every advantage you can get. Working with professional packaging and graphic designers like the creative community of over 200,000 designers on crowdspring will give your brewery the edge it needs to stand out. And though it may seem more frugal to home brew your design, investing in good design can actually save your brewery money in the long run. So, make bold design choices that share the soul of your brewery and your beer. If you're successful with your design choices, you'll be sure to attract the kind of consumer that you'd like to sit down with and share a beer. And that's what this is all about at the end of the day, right? Click the link below to get started with professional label and logo design for breweries from crowdspring.